Joe Burrow exudes a compelling blend of fearlessness and tenacity, captivating the nation and igniting the Bengals to unprecedented success. Yet, this narrative isn't unfamiliar for Burrow. Consistently underestimated, he's continued to defy expectations, transforming his teams at every stage of his career. Time and again, he's orchestrated remarkable turnarounds, making the story of Joe Burrow an emblem of resilience and triumph. Joe Burrow was born in Ames, Iowa in 1996 to Robin and Jim Burrow. Jim, a former defensive back at Nebraska, was drafted by the Packers in the 1976 draft. Following a season in Green Bay, he thrived in the Canadian Football League, earning 2 All-Star honors across 5 seasons. Transitioning into coaching, Joe was born while his father was coaching at Iowa State. The Burrow family's athletic legacy spans generations, reaching back almost a century. Joe's grandmother set a Mississippi State high school basketball record in the 1940s, scoring an impressive 82 points in a single game, while his grandfather played Division I basketball at Mississippi State. Additionally, his uncle excelled in Division I football at Ole Miss, and both of his older brothers showcased their talents in Division I football in Nebraska. Undoubtedly, sports coursed through Joe's veins. Though football was a family tradition, playing quarterback wasn't a given for Joe. His family's lineage leaned towards the defensive side. His dad is a DB, Jamie is a middle linebacker, and Dan is a safety. However, in 3rd grade, Joe found himself without a quarterback on his team. Stepping into the role, he displayed an innate talent that was evident from the start. During his father's coaching tenure at North Dakota State in 2003, a significant moment occurred when then offensive coordinator and future Central Michigan head coach Dan Enos observed Joe's potential in football. Eventually, the Burrow family settled in Athens, Ohio, where Jim served as a defensive coordinator for the Ohio Bobcats from 2005 to 2018. Joe attended Athens High School, where he led the football team to 3 consecutive playoff appearances, marking the school's first 7 playoff victories. During his junior year, he earned the titles of Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year and AP All-State. Despite these accomplishments, Joe felt he wasn't getting the recognition he deserved. In an attempt to raise his profile, he reached out via Twitter direct messages to a high school football recruiting analyst in Ohio, inquiring about specific camps that could help garner attention. Though the advice Joe received remains unclear, it's evident that his proactive approach led to a significant increase in attention and recognition. In his senior year, Joe clinched Ohio's Mr. Football title, showcasing his skills by throwing for nearly 4,500 yards and 63 touchdowns, remarkably with just 2 interceptions. He was also talented in basketball, earning recognition as an all-state point guard. Despite receiving multiple mid-major offers for college basketball, his primary passion remained football. Renowned for his football abilities, Joe was rated as a 4-star recruit, ranking as the 8th highest among dual-threat quarterbacks in the 2015 class. He committed to playing football at Ohio State in May 2014. Joe's tenure in Columbus didn't kick off swiftly. He redshirted in 2015 and spent the next 2 seasons as a backup, with just 39 pass attempts overall. Feeling the need for a new beginning after limited playing time at Ohio State, Burrow opted to depart as a graduate transfer. During the transfer period, he visited only 2 schools, Cincinnati and LSU. In hindsight, it's ironic that the Bearcats, being the hometown team, likely wouldn't have objected to having Joe Burrow a couple of years earlier. Nevertheless, everything fell into place. Upon committing to LSU, Burrow didn't automatically assume the starting role. He had to outperform Miles Brennan in a rigorous competition to earn the position. In his initial season at Baton Rouge, Joe demonstrated remarkable consistency, throwing for 2,894 yards and 16 touchdowns with just 5 interceptions. Notably, he proved adept at winning games. Starting in all 13 matchups, Burrow guided the Tigers to a 10-3 record, resulting in a victorious Fiesta Bowl game against the undefeated UCF. Burrow capitalized on the previous season's success and launched into his next campaign with vigor. In a Week 2 victory on the road against the 9th-ranked Texas team, he delivered an outstanding performance, throwing for 471 yards, a feat that ranked as the 2nd highest in school history. As the season progressed, it became evident that LSU's offense, spearheaded by Burrow, was virtually unstoppable. This was solidified when Burrow led the charge against the 3rd-ranked Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa, orchestrating a 46-point display. Amidst throwing for 393 yards, Joe shattered LSU's single-season passing yards record with 2 regular season games and the entire postseason still ahead. The LSU Tigers wrapped up the regular season with an unblemished record and proceeded to dominate the SEC title game, delivering a resounding 37-10 victory against the 4th-ranked Georgia team. Burrow played a stellar game, throwing for 349 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Bulldogs. A week later, he claimed college football's most esteemed honor, the Heisman Trophy, achieving the largest victory margin in the award's history. Notably, in his acceptance speech, Burrow highlighted the dire circumstances of poverty and food insecurity in his hometown of Athens, Ohio. His gesture showcased Joe's exceptional character, prompting more than $400,000 in donations to the local food bank. A year later, Athens High School honored Burrow by naming their football stadium after him, a gesture symbolizing their gratitude. Returning to his on-field achievements, Burrow astonishingly elevated his performance during the college football playoffs. LSU secured victories in both games, dominating by a combined 52-point margin. Joe's exceptional play stood out as he threw for 956 yards and 12 touchdowns in these 2 games, propelling LSU to a smooth path to the national championship. It was a perfect conclusion to an extraordinary senior season for Burrow. He concluded the year with an impressive 5,671 passing yards and 60 passing touchdowns, while only throwing 5 interceptions. Widely regarded as one of the greatest seasons in college football history, Burrow had successfully revitalized 2 football programs at different levels. With his phenomenal senior year at LSU, it came as no surprise when the Cincinnati Bengals selected him as the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. Returning to Ohio, the weight of an entire city rested on his shoulders as he was tasked with leading a team that had struggled. A team coming off a 2-14 season without a winning record since 2015 and unable to advance past the wildcard round since 1990. During his rookie season with the Bengals, Burrow displayed glimpses of his potential of being him. He achieved several historic feats, becoming the first rookie quarterback in NFL history to throw for 300 or more yards in 3 consecutive games. Additionally, he secured another milestone by being the first rookie in the league's history to achieve at least 400 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown in a single game. However, the season took a sharp turn for the worse. In a Week 11 game against the Washington football team, Burrow suffered a season-ending knee injury. The concern extended far beyond the end of his season. Burrow had torn his ACL and MCL in his left knee, raising doubts about his potential to return to full strength. Determined as ever, Joe attacked his rehabilitation with the same drive he approached life. His target was to return for Week 1 of the 2021 season, a goal he successfully achieved. However, doubts persisted regarding his comeback. Many questioned the condition he'd be in after such a serious injury and expressed uncertainties about his capability to win games at the professional level. Despite Burrow's impressive individual stats during his rookie season, the team struggled to secure victories while he was the starting quarterback in 2020, finishing with a 2-7-1 record. Burrow not only quieted his critics, but also garnered newfound admiration with his performance in the following season. Joe steered the Bengals to a remarkable 10-7 record and clinched the AFC North title, securing victories in crucial matchups against the Ravens and Chiefs in weeks 16 and 17 respectively. Burrow was instrumental in the team's success. In those games, he amassed an impressive 971 passing yards and threw 8 touchdowns, showcasing his pivotal role in leading the Bengals to pivotal victories. Resting in Week 18 due to the Bengals already securing a playoff spot, Joe concluded the regular season after playing in 16 games. He set franchise records with 4,611 passing yards, 34 passing touchdowns. Furthermore, he led the league in completion percentage at an impressive 70.4% and yards per pass attempt at 8.9. Burrow's exceptional season extended into the playoffs. He guided the Bengals to a 26-19 victory over the Raiders in the wildcard round and continued their surprising run by upsetting the top-seeded Titans with a 19-16 win on the road in the divisional round. Heading into the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs, many had already discounted Burrow and the Bengals. As they fell behind 21-3 in the first half, even more doubted their chances. However, those doubters seem to have forgotten who Joe truly is. He thrives when underestimated and excels when his back is against the wall. True to form, Burrow led a remarkable comeback, rallying his team to stun the Chiefs and nearly everyone watching in a gripping 27-24 overtime victory. With this win, the Bengals secured their first Super Bowl appearance since Super Bowl 23. Additionally, Burrow entered an elite group, becoming only the 13th different quarterback in league history to start in the Super Bowl at 25 years of age or younger, just the 7th second-year quarterback to achieve this milestone. Despite Joe and his team falling short in the big game against the Rams, they fought until the end, reflecting Burrow's inspiring leadership. Now, following successful wrist surgery, there's a strong belief that Joe will make a comeback, just as he always does.